That's enough quacks to sustain the Googlide flipper with infinite ammunition. Goop says he was there when the Porky Puff took Out-of-Date's leg, so this World Eater has made it personal. After that, Out-of-Date started using his head instead of his legs and came up with the plan on how to best make a stand against the World Eaters, and it wasn't by foot. That's how he got tasked with rebuilding the Googlide. He seems happy to talk. Says you need to say hi to Lobo. She made the most amazing goblin. Wonders what kind of good you'll get up to today. Says you should take it easy. He seems happy to talk. We'll be around when you return. Let's see. Good thing the forest trees don't have monsters gnawing their roots. Metal ride. Leave that ride. Check out that rubber scrap. Seemed like this night might never end. This is Hobby Duck, a homey little village. You got your sea legs all ready. It's the porky-puff nibbling bug. It took quite a liking to the crunchy stuff after munching down Out-of-Date's leg. brisk wind of change. Don't let this opportunity slide. He thanks you for dealing with another World Eater. You're halfway there. He's got word Out of Date spotted LUPA-LUPIN and has a feeling your time has come. He hopes you're up for it. Even though you're good-hearted, you shouldn't miss this opportunity to confront the Predator. Just head back to the foot of the tree. Fingers crossed LUPA-LUPIN will stay put until you're there. So many places to be today. Sometimes your mind creates an illusion where it's possible to go back in time to relive a moment in your life. We all have things in our past we wish hadn't happened, and can come to remember seeing and doing things that never happened. However, there's no doubt that what you remember makes your future different. Choose the automaton functionality you want to recall. I was wondering when you'd recall how to spring the automaton air gliders. Hey, a mount has no gears to grind. Out of Date says the time has come for you to reconcile with your past. LUPA-LUPIN is still staying in the camp where he was brought up. He hopes you'll find the answers you are looking for there. Even though darkness is a part of your nature, he suggests you try to keep your cool, as the best fighter is never angry. He'll point you in the right direction, but the rest is up to you. This part of the journey is one you'll have to do on your own. LUPA-LUPIN'S camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Out of Date hopes you'll find your way and the answers you were looking for once you're there. He knows he said it before, but the time has come to put an end to the Lupin's reign of terror. You should get over there, come face to face with destiny. It's going to be you against the Lupin. No rules. He's happy to help. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Glad to see you stopped keeping to yourself and are actually helping these days. Understands completely. He guesses you're back for more. Says talking to you was interesting. You seem to have made a new friend. LUPA-LUPIN'S camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is LUPA-LUPIN'S camp. LUPA-LUPIN says he's been looking forward to this moment. He wanted you to come here and see for yourself where it all started. He was so little when your mother and kin came here to put an end to his mother just because she was different, a hunter. That night, the hunter became the hunted, trapped with nowhere to run. He says your mother showed no mercy, only vengeance. He can see that you're not like your mother. There's something different about you. Maybe you would have made a better decision than she did, and let them be. They orphaned him, left him alone, an outcast and a freak. Lupa-Lupin says he's been reliving the moment every night since then. He says your mother and her disciples started something that couldn't be undone. They created the monster he would become. He knew his time would come, and he was patient. So, when he got news about your birth, he knew how to get revenge that would last. That's why he spared you that night he raised the village when you were a child. He wanted you to suffer for life, like he had. He marked you for life, so he'd recognize you when you met again, and you'd eventually remember where you came from. His hunger grew insatiable over the years to come. He tried, but being vegetarian wasn't in his nature, and he couldn't go hungry. But he's never taken a life for the sake of appetite. It's always been about survival, and that our true self is being who we are. Just so. A deep look into nature will make you understand everything better, and that natural selection eliminates, and the strongest survive. Fate is for those too weak to determine their own destiny, and now the time has come for you to accept yours. Where it comes. Your feet feel like you're wearing squishy sponges. Dawn must be coming soon, because it's awfully dark right now. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Noko in the east. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Noko. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Noko and making sure she gets what she needs is up to you. That doesn't sound good. Out of Date was spot on. The hoof puff needs to be stopped. Out of Date says that Noko is worried now that the Eastern World-Eater is stepping up its activity. He explains that Noko keeps a fabled steed that she has planned to ride out to the World-Eater, but needs help to get it prepared. Out of Date suggests that you should head east as fast as possible and see what you can do to help. He's happy to help. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Grateful you're on the same side. Team fixing the world. Didn't have much else to say, so no problem. He guesses you're back for more. Wishes you goodbye. See that plastic scrap over there? That paid off. Watch your balance. This is GURF'S turf, and they don't like visitors. Check out that e-waste. That's a good find. Hey, nice shot. Ooh, ooh. It's starting to add up. Grit. Right between the eyes. If a story is about you, care for it. You could rifle through that. Sharpening of the mind. Snazzy hatter. You get used to the beastly smell, I hear. Look at that metal scrap over there. An old munch house. Imagine having hot food brought to you. Nice find. Might keep you from taking one to the knee. Didn't expect to see that again. It's a bleep-bleep cupboard. It had no other use than fun-thinking time, which never gets old. It's time for an adventure, for good or bad. You need to align the knobs so that they match. Give it a little kick. Vump is the place to be, obviously. Let's see. Nothing like a little exercise. The vendor says you can browse his goods any time during opening hours. Says you should take care. Just be glad that beastie let you on. A crossway. This means you have a choice to make. Which way? That's a pling-plong booth from the bygone, back when you needed to cable words via buzzwire instead of airwaving them. Looks like the control box handles need to be wheeled to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. Smart to protect your melon. This story is as powerful as you'll let it be. Want to get you got to time it right to make them work. Left, right, left, right. Pumping good, looking better. Every day, everything seems like it happens at once. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month.
Losurate me susute ajude potano.
Says they're tired of thinking so much about how the tree of life is dying.
Imetala piapo nebekul.
In the past time, they had boxes that would think for them.
Imetala.
Called them mind monitors. Got to find one of them.
Beveg bepa man para popak.
Says you just plug it in and ask it questions. Simple.
Rak tuibe. Tredlechgut oj.
Most mind monitors were kept indoors. Maybe look for one there.
Tredlechgut oj.
It'll probably be broken when you find it, but you're giddy smart.
Nupapuno.
Get it running, and that mind monitor will do your thinking for you.
Tosate temeso.
Says you'd be an even better solver. Locked. Don't get distracted by all the destruction you can see this time of day. This region is known as the Knupstonies. You can't find a harder place in the world. Ah, the Gnote pen. Noko never leaves this place. She's always put the living things first. Let's see. Nooks isn't an easy language, but at least it's manageable. She says she is so happy to see you again. She wonders if you remember her. She's Noko. She let you ride her MJUT when you were a kid. Noko remembers you used to chase around with so much energy and is glad to see you haven't lost any of that spark. But that's all long gone now, though. Memories show us where we've been, not where we're going. Believes everyone needs direction in this broken world. Your only hope is that you'll end up in a good place once all this is over. Noko remembers those days too, but she never lets herself wallow in them, no matter how tempting that can be. She sees you're back to buck with LUPA-LUPIN. Can't see how there's any way to avoid that now. Not for long, at least.
Verena masalapu, pendrine senema.
She says the horrors of your younger days were enough to ruin anyone, but not you. You've got all that cheer about you still.
Vaseno kasaman varu, ingada aldo, pendrine senema.
Noko says history is like the trail you've been on. You can walk back down it any time you like until it's worn smooth. But you get to blaze your own trail from here.
Ala.
Then you are stronger than her. She can't help wanting LUPA-LUPIN to pay for what he did to her Gnotes, despite the fact it's against her nature.
Come toward the light.
Good on you. Resist.
Resist? That's just a hesitation, nothing more.
Keep telling yourself that.
Ha! Just give me this one thing.
Tukonda, domale tuk.
Asks how many paths you've wandered in the world, and if you ever wonder about what might have changed if you'd taken different ones.
Anora kapapom, kialdo male kanodo.
The choices can be overwhelming, but you have to choose, or you just stay where you are. And what kind of choice is that?
Puri kumbalamuma, pial tu ma.
So happy the world is going to live, would have been crushed to see all the Gnotes die with it.
Ariaroche nui mumera, anora kapapom.
Likes that you stood up for the world and spurred your way toward helping it out.
Dere?
Glad you saw the light with the myriad. They always bring a sparkliness to any day, and sometimes the nights too.
Taifanamenuma, vaseno kasaman varut.
They're just so shiny, makes her smile to think about them.
Brumblene marsamambunundu.
But let's not speak of that now.
Andro?
She has an idea where the MJUT might have gone, as there's no other place it likes as much as its own corner of the open wild. She's even named it the MJUT Meadow.
Verena masalapu, anaro lute.
The MJUT will recognize the scent you've attracted while being here, so it'll probably trust you enough to follow you.
Pial tu ma.
You should lead the MJUT back here when you find it. It's going to take time to get it calm enough to be able to ride out to the WORLDEATER.
Ingada aldo.
She can't be sure. You'll have to wait and see. Don't let your mount ignore you. Ooh-wee, that's biohazard. That's some sharp wood scrap there. Watch for splinters. You found the MJUT meadow. Watch out for the MJUT. Says they used to trade with an outpost in a bunker near the valley, but they've lost contact somehow. It's a brand new day.
Inga valdo tukonda.
Now that the MJUT is back in the pen, it seems calm, but Noko is still concerned.
Dere?
She says the MJUT is still anxious, but fortunately she knows just the thing it needs to calm down.
Ferena masalapu, monibasa.
The MJUT once found and ate a bonbon gummy by mistake, and that the chewing really calmed it down.
Anora kapapum. Dere? Inadabsunka?
She says that you should find some bonbon gummies for the MJUT by the crossway. At least, that's where she found some last time.
Kanamunta, beri? Kanamunt.
She figures the choosies from the old world are made from gummy trees, but wouldn't be surprised if they were actually made from some chemical concoction, though.
Anora kapapum.
Noko is always willing to help.
Urasa duut.
Understands completely. Look at those notices on the board. Too bad the Gnotes couldn't read them. If you wander around here, you might find Noko. She just loves those Gnotes. Once the power ran out, it made sense to ride Gnotes, and that tradition continued through the years. Nope, you still have to feed them, but food's easier to find than go juice. Watch your step here, and you might find tracks of another traveler. Don't distract this beastie. It's working. Look up, not down. The best way to travel. Someone locked it solid. That the Tree of Life still stands. Question is, for how long? Cranks like these usually need to be wound to operate. Just a few moves left. Make them count. What you see is what you get. Once it's out of the block, you shouldn't be surprised if you stumble on more of these. It's an electropanel, a closed loop that pushes voltage spark. Flick the switches in order to greenlight the current and activate the electrons in the panel. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. The loop is electrified enough to spark.
Deputano, mi mai keller.
Always happy to talk with you, even about your own think thoughts.
Ti Nabukelio.
Says you should take it easy.
Rak tuibe. Rekke pankukjibe.
All
Kunen jij maar jama.
Like it or not, darkness falls this time every day.
Asil natu.
With its attention diverted to the chewy bonbon gummy, the MJUT calms down. But Noko is still concerned.
Andro? Masamal. Pala.
She's relieved the MJUT has calmed down, but you'll need a heavier sit-tight to ride it than the one she's got.
Asil natu.
The only sit-tight she can think of that would be heavy enough is one she's spotted mounted on an old world mecha MJUT.
Pendrine senema. Anora kapapom.
If she remembers correctly, she spotted it at the Smilo Shopperia while scavenging for treats for the gnotes. That's not so far away.
Kamomu. Ingava aldo.
Seems to her they preferred the mecha MJUTs over the living counterparts in the old world. Maybe the gnotes were near extinct.
Kanoruta.
Noko is always willing to help.
Puri kumbalamuma.
Says you should take care. Let's see. That ain't bad. Wonder where we can get some ride shoes for the mount. You finally found the village of Bumlidoff. Let's see. Wishes the world was filled with Bop Bop rather than LUPA-LUPIN'S horrible howls. Recalls seeing a radionic hidden off in the ruins somewhere. Imagine listening to the airwaves from forever away. Figures if it's on, all you have to do is listen. Thinks the radionic had to be close, although they haven't seen it in a while. Just keep your eye out for the radionic, or maybe your ears. Might take some figuring to get it working if it's broke, but you're up for that. Says you're clever enough to do that. You need to show your mount who's boss. Bang Shelter 6I is right here. Seems like it's in working order too. This area is blazing hot. You'd better have something that'll keep you cool if you're going in. Scrap's great for building things. Might not need that now, but you will later. The Smilo Shopperia. Guess shopping here put a smile on your face. Locked, but good. Life is a difficult game, no matter how you play it. Gross. This place stinks. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Boxes like this are few and far between. Now hold on, sit tight. Isn't that the MJUT over there? You need to loosen the bolts without rattling the MJUT. That's it. The sit tight is loose. Time to stop horsing around and get the sit tight back to Nocco. Just don't trip when you're walking in the mountains. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. That's the good stuff. Let's see. Says they like chatting with you, even when it's up face close. Understands you have things to do. Ride like the wind.
blena marsamawundu. Urasa durut.
Now that the MJUT's got a mouthful of bon gummy and the brand new sit-tight is in place, the MJUT is ready to ride.
Chialdo male canodo, veri?
Nocco's been training another fantabulous little critter that'll hopefully become a distraction for the hoof puff when you confront it.
Tukonda, asil natu, kanyala notoro.
She's called them glitter moths, and the best way to find them is to go talk to Mito. She's asked him to keep them somewhere safe.
Taifanana numa?
You'll find Mito at Brightlight. He's a light-headed fellow, but hopefully he'll remember where he stored the moths.
Tropalo, asa durutu.
She's noticed the front teeth seem to be a little loose, so you might be able to pull them out with the pull hook. Doesn't riding a beast like this feel good? Don't know what that e-waste was. This place is called Brightlight. Mito lives close by. We are lonesome animals. Let's see. With the world getting darker by the day, there's not much time left to save it. And even though you've just met, he feels you're bound to play a huge part in that. Says there's so much darkness to deal with. Rather than curse it, he makes lamps to fight it. You found your way through the darkness. You shine like the sun in the sky, but will you use that power to warm the world or burn it? Hopes you see how much good you can do with power like that, and how easy it is to let it drive you mad. No matter where your path takes you, though, it's important to remember where you came from. The past brightlights the present. Wonders if you know how much of an effect you've had upon the world. Your presence changes things like light changes darkness. Did you realize that when choosing where to shine? Says he can see that in the way you brighten everything up. So happy you know you're helping brighten the world. There's plenty of it that's still worth saving. Whatever happens to the world, you shone as bright as you could. That matters more than you know. Says you did the right thing in taking up with the Myriad. They buy lots of his lamps. That's a tribe that believes in the bright things in the world. It's clear you do. Nothing shines as bright as being right. Says he can see by the twinkle in your eyes that you're not here to talk about your allies. He assumes you are here to be enlightened. He can't blame you, as everything just feels dark and hopeless these days. There's something about you, like you're knit together. Your fate's connected. What you've said, he feels too. So, why not call him Me Too? He senses you're like the dayfly, living every day like it's your last, afraid that when night comes, it might be proved right. Claims you both walk in different types of darkness, but you guide yourself by the same light. Mito says he's not only into those who shine bright, he likes things that glitter too. He reckons you haven't seen a glitter moth, and says it's about time you did. Even though they're nesting near gone grass, they never run out of glow. Finding yourself a glitter moth would give you that glimmer of hope you need to continue all the way to the end. Figures you should do it if you want to become as enlightened as him. Yippee-ki-yay! Kaboom! That's just nasty. Biohazards make you puke. Ah, plastic scrap like that always comes in handy. Glad to see some wood scrap there. The best stories are about heroes. This is such a story. Watch your balance. Glittermoth Cave is right here. Those are the kind of things you need. Someone has to end this plague before it's too late. That's enough glitter moths to make her plan work. She wants you to stop worrying about the paths you've ridden and focus on the inevitable road ahead, the one that leads to confrontation with the World-Eater. The hoof puff is evidence of the duality of evolution, utterly beautiful and grotesque at the same time. She means that the hoof puff has had more time to eat at the root as it's been isolated in the Knoopstonies mountains. So, based on that alone, she reckons it has suffered as much damage as the northwest root that's hidden beneath the surf. Everything in nature is dual, and so is evolution as it struggles to find balance in creation. She wonders what could be more beautiful than imperfection. You seem to have made a new friend. You can always find some use for rubber scrap. That sealed the fate of the third World Eater. Just one more to go. Out of Date asked to see you again to congratulate you and let you in on the final phases of his plan. This is your chance to get his priorities aligned with yours. Do right by your tribe and the world at large. Just head back to the Ark. He seemed eager to see you again. There's not much left of what we used to call our world. Let's see. Out of Date thinks the time has come to end the conflict between the tribes. There won't be any winners in this war. You should know it's not too late to change direction by visiting another tribe's fort. However, it might be best to stick with the tribe you've chosen already. He believes it'll take someone with a light perspective and key to counterbalance the Sifu's energy in the end. Regardless of the outcome, you need to play your part and conclude the conquest. It'll be over soon. Out of Date reminds you that the time has come to end the tribe war. He's happy to help. Says there's an interesting place nearby that no one knows about, but doesn't really want to talk about it right now. Thinks Lobo really is stunning. Who else would build flying things? Thank her when you meet her. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. He guesses you're back for more. Hopes to see you again soon.